The observation deck of the Terran cruiser Valiant Dawn hummed with tension as Kylie Martinez stood before the holographic display, her hands trembling despite years of military training. The images cycling through showed what remained of New Haven colony: twisted metal, scorched earth, and silence where 30,000 souls had once thrived. They didn't just attack us, she whispered to herself, her reflection ghostly in the viewport. They erased us. Behind her, the door hissed open. William Chen, the ship's tactical officer, entered with his datapad clutched tight enough to whiten his knuckles. His normally composed features were carved from stone, eyes haunted by the same footage Kylie couldn't stop watching. "The council is calling it an unfortunate incident," William said, his voice bitter as ash. "They want us to stand down, to negotiate." Kylie turned to face him, and William saw something in her expression that made him take an involuntary step back. It wasn't rage. Rage would have been easier to comprehend. It was something colder, more absolute. Determination forged in the funeral pyre of innocence. "My sister was down there," Kylie said quietly. "Her husband, their 2 children. Emma was only 6 years old, William. She collected rocks from the colony's garden because she dreamed of becoming a geologist." William closed his eyes briefly. He'd known, of course. Everyone aboard the Valiant Dawn had lost someone. New Haven had been humanity's pride, a successful colony on the edge of explored space. Proof that humans could thrive anywhere. The Zerathian Dominion had seen it differently. They'd seen trespassing. "The Admiral is waiting for us," William said. "Emergency command briefing in 10 minutes. They walked through the corridors together, passing crew members whose faces reflected the same cocktail of grief and fury. The ship felt different now, Kylie noticed. The usual chatter and casual laughter had been replaced by a focused silence, broken only by the purposeful stride of boots and the hum of weapons being checked and rechecked. Admiral Sarah Okonkwo stood at the head of the briefing room, her dark eyes surveying the assembled officers like a hawk evaluating potential. At 63, she'd seen humanity's first contact with alien civilizations, had navigated the treacherous politics of the Galactic Assembly for 2 decades. But nothing had prepared her for this. "They burned our people," the Admiral began without preamble. 30,000 men, women, and children. "The Galactic Assembly offers condolences and calls for restraint. The Zerathians claim we violated their territorial markers they established 3 weeks ago. On a colony we founded 7 years past." She paused, letting the absurdity sink in. "Command has given me discretionary authority," Admiral Okonkwo continued, her voice dropping to something dangerous. "We can pull back, file protests, wait for diplomacy to run its course over the next decade while the Assembly debates, and the Zerathians consolidate their claim, or we remind the galaxy why you don't touch human colonies." Kylie finished, surprised by the steel in her own voice. The Admiral's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. "Lieutenant Martinez understands. The Zerathians believe we're soft. They've observed us for years, seen our democratic processes, our endless debates, our reluctance for violence. They've mistaken civilization for weakness." William activated the tactical display, showing Zerathian fleet positions. "Their 5th battle group is holding position near the New Haven system. 27 capital ships, supporting frigates and fighter complements. They're not expecting retaliation, because the Assembly told them we wouldn't dare." Another officer muttered. Admiral Okonkwo straightened. "I'm about to violate every diplomatic protocol in the book. When the Terran fleet moves, it will trigger a cascade we cannot stop. The galaxy will take sides. Trade will collapse. The peace we've maintained for 20 years will shatter." The room fell silent. Kylie felt the weight of that moment, the pivot point where everything changed. She thought of Emma's laugh, her sister's smile, the future stolen from 30,000 people who'd committed no crime, but daring to call a distant world home. "They made their choice when they fired on civilians," Kylie said. "Now we make ours." Admiral Okonkwo nodded slowly. "Then let every gun fire." Within hours, the Terran fleet emerged from slipspace like vengeful ghosts. Kylie stood at her weapons console aboard the Valiant Dawn, fingers dancing across controls with practiced precision. William coordinated fleet movements, his tactical genius finally unleashed from the constraints of peacetime protocol. The Zerathian 5th Battle Group had moments to realize their mistake. Terran railguns, dismissed as primitive by species with energy weapons, proved devastating at close range. Missile swarms, guided by AI warfare systems humanity had developed but never deployed, overwhelmed Zerathian point defenses, and when the fleets closed to knife-fighting range, humanity's willingness to ram damaged ships into enemy vessels shocked their adversaries into paralysis. Target destroyed, Kylie reported mechanically, though each Zerathian ship that died felt like a small payment on an impossible debt. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, the Zerathian 5th Battle Group had ceased to exist, but William's long-range sensors were already picking up movement across the sector, fleets mobilizing, alliances activating, the galaxy's carefully maintained balance collapsing like a house of cards. "They're calling it the New Haven Massacre now," William said later, as they stood together in the observation deck, watching distant stars that would soon become battlefields. "What we did, I mean. The Galactic Assembly has condemned us. 3 species have severed diplomatic relations." Kylie nodded, feeling suddenly exhausted. "And the other 4? Watching, waiting to see if humanity will back down or if we meant what we said." "We meant it," Kylie said quietly. "They wanted to test our resolve. Well, they have their answer. Every colony, every ship, every human life will defend them all. And if the galaxy wants to burn over that principle, then let it burn." William looked at her profile against the stars. "You know there's no going back from this. Everything changes now. Everything changed the moment they attacked New Haven," Kylie replied. "We're just making sure the galaxy understands the new rules." In the weeks that followed, as human fleets deployed across contested zones and the galaxy caught flame with war, historians would mark this as humanity's announcement of arrival, not as supplicants seeking acceptance, but as a power demanding respect. The Terrans had fired every gun, and the message rang clear across 1,000 worlds: touch our colonies and face the storm.